What's up, guys? This is Caleb Etienne, your co-host.
I'm Hinckley Ropati, your co-host as well.
Today is another episode of Inside the Y with Center Street Media. And today we're
We got Taba with us. Taba, how do you pronounce your full name?
Matavatase.
Matavatase, right?
I remember talking to Kibo in the beginning of the season. I was like, dude, I'd rather take a block that like makes a touchdown or like gets a big play than get a touchdown.
Yeah.
And of course, him being a receiver, was like, heck no. He had a different school. Like, I think a lot of people have beliefs and like want to share their spirituality or whatever you want to say, but there's just they don't feel comfortable, right? Like they might be weird for them to pray or like to say their belief in God because they like feel like maybe they'd be judged. But like here, it's cool to see those that are members and especially not members, like on my perspective, to see like how they think, because like I've grown just as much from like those that are members than those that are not members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? This is Caleb Etienne, your co-host.
I'm Hinckley Ropati, your co-host as well.
Today is another episode of Inside the Y with Center Street Media. And today we're
We got Taba with us. Taba, how do you pronounce your full name?
Matavatase.
Matavatase, right?
Yep.
All right, so
we're just gonna get straight into it. You know, obviously you're from AZ. You know, just tell us a little bit about your journey and a little bit about your story and everything about that.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Matavatase, originally from Mesa, Arizona, born and raised there. Originally from there, and my parents met up at the University of Utah. They were both played there, and then they started their family, our family down in Arizona. So grew up there, went to school all through high school, went to Mesa Mountain View. Then from there, once I graduated, I went on my mission to Tokyo, Japan for 2 years, and then came back, and then had a short spurt at junior college for a semester, and then right after that, I went up to Southern Utah University down in Cedar City. And then was there for 2.5 seasons. One was a COVID season. So, and then from there, came up here to BYU, and this is my second, and this was my last season. So, yeah.
Bro, I did not know you were a JUCO cat, bro.
Yeah.
Why am I just now finding this? I'm a horrible teammate.
It was a short stint. So like, I came back the end November of 2018, and then 2019 they shut our JUCO down. Yeah. And so technically I had a redshirt, and then I was actually supposed to go to Mount Sac in 2020 for that season, and then they shut down California JUCO.
Yeah, completely.
And then our other JUCO in Arizona that I was at, they started up like a supplemental league, and so anyways, I was there for the semester, and then I hopped over to SEU in January, so mid-year.
That's crazy, because we're both JUCO cats as well.
Yeah.
I for some reason I felt like
we got some JUCO boys on this.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. I think it's us three, and then there's Jada, Darius, right? Yep. No, we got a good Jake. Number. Yeah. Dude, actually, like go more in depth into that. Like, how was your recruitment process? Like, obviously coming from high school, I don't think a lot of people understand. Like the whole JUCO route and the JUCO life, and then getting to from where you went from JUCO, in that little semester to now where you're at now. So I talk about that a little bit. Yeah. So coming out of high school, I had I had offers. I was late because going into my senior year, I tore my ligaments in my ankle. So I had late offers like after my senior year. I had like Washington, and then a couple other like FCS and group of 5 schools. Yeah. But then I decided to go, and I was never going to go on my mission. But then I decided to go on my mission late, and so essentially all those schools kind of backed out.
Out because it was too late to hold scholarship. Anyways, so then I just essentially went on my mission, just like with the mindset of I'm just going to figure out when I come back. Yeah. And so then I came back, and I was thinking about walking on at University of Utah because I had connections up there with my dad and whatever. And anyways, and then that didn't work out. And then I just went to the JUCO route. I was like, all right, I'll just do that. And then that shut down. My Arizona JUCO shut down because they stopped the funding there.
Yeah.
So anyways, I essentially had to sit out 2019, and then 2020. We started there, and it was a grind. Like I didn't think I would ever do it, and it would be like that. It's like way harder than I imagined it. And then the recruitment, like, you know, coming off my mission, like I have an idea of like who I am and like where I could be. Yeah. But then like when you're actually into the JUCO process, it's like, man, this is like, you really got to get it out out the mud, you know what I'm saying? Sure. And so like everything's just twice as harder. Anyways, and so, then the crazy thing is SUU was my first offer before I even played a game that season. And we only had 6 games because of COVID at my JUCO. Yeah. And so my first game, I tore my PCL. And so, and I was like talking to USC, I think Alabama, school in Alabama, like a bigger school. Anyways, and then they pulled out because it was kind of COVID, and then they weren't taking any injured guys. And so anyways, and so SU was my only one. And so I was like, shoot, I'll just roll with it. Yeah. And then that's kind of how that went about. So
opportunity is an opportunity, right? Yep, I mean, that's all it comes down to. And I feel like you've done a really good job of making the most of that. I mean, see where you are now, and you know the plays that you're making now at this stage, and where you started from. You know what I mean? And so, and I think the biggest thing that people don't understand when it comes to JUCO is like you got to be your number one believer more than anyone else. You know what I mean? To even make the decision to go to JUCO, you got to really have a different mentality that like. Yeah, like, you know, obviously I didn't maybe have gotten the offers that I wanted, or maybe whatever happened in that situation, but
and then
totally
like the support system too is like you don't have that support that you have like when you at a D1.
Correct.
Less fans in the stands and just people in general. So
real fast, bro.
That's just had to be a lot on your mental.
I tell people all the time, man, like the JUCO route, man. But I always tell the younger generation, like, bro, if you don't get the opportunity to, you know what I mean, to maybe in a scholarship right out of high school, like, it's not the end of the world, man. Right. Like, but the biggest thing is, like, you got to, you know how many guys that I've seen that are great players didn't get an opportunity, and it's like, all right, I'm just gonna go into the workforce, but like they wanted so much to, you know what I mean. So that it starts with your desire and your willingness to like, you know, to pursue that dream, and then be able to just, you know. Hey, whatever comes with it, just go, you know. And so I think that's the biggest thing, you know. It definitely is a different type of mentality to go through that, you know. And so that's super dope. As you mentioned that you served in Tokyo, Japan. Now we talked about this before, but how was that experience, bro? Like being in Japan and things of that sort, bro. How did you love that?
Yeah, so like when I got my mission call, I remember like opening at the church, and all my friends and family were there. And I read Tokyo, Japan. I read it, and I'm like, where is that at? Like, I heard of Japan before, but I'm like, where's that Tokyo? At? Like, I had no idea. And so I really didn't know what to think about it. And then go to the MTC for 9 weeks, and then don't even know how to speak still. Yeah. And so I don't know what to think, and like completely foreign, just everything's foreign to me.
What it's tough too is because Japanese is one of those languages where it's not even letters, it's characters, right? So obviously kanji, it's going to be it's like you know, Mandarin or these other languages where, in my opinion, it's like way harder to learn than a language that has, you know, like the alphabet in it. You know what I'm saying?
So that was the hardest thing. Like, and then their sentences are backwards to what we're used to in English. So like,
give me an example.
So like, for example. So like if I was to say my name is Matava, it'd be like I Matava am.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I get
you know what I'm saying?
So
or
like
or like if I'm like I'm going to the store, it'd be like I store am going.
So the verb comes after the subject.
Yeah. So it's instead of subject object verb, it's subject subject verb object. It's subject object verb. Yeah. So that was hard just to like understand that. And then they have particles. So like you have to like, so like, it's, like if I was to say me would be like watashi, then you would have a particle after to mark the person. So like you'd be wa. You know what I'm saying? Wa. And so, watashi wa, and then matava, and then it would be des, which is like I am.
Oh, you know,
that's what it's,
so that's
you know,
what it's okay.
Anyway, so that was hard. And then you go there, and then like the problem over there is that nobody speaks English. You know what I'm saying? So like
trying to learn it.
Yeah,
so,
like there's
so
nobody
hard.
that like speaks English and Japanese, so you just straight got to just go all Japanese, you know? The only person is your companion, bro. You know? And so
I think that's the biggest thing I relied on when I was on my mission in the Philippines was the little kids that spoke English. And they're learning a little bit of English in their schools. So it's like, I go to them like, hey, how do you say this? Yeah. And that was like the biggest thing that helped me learn the language. Yes. But like not to have that and just to be like fully submerged like in that environment, like that's got to be difficult.
Yeah,
bro.
it was hard. But yeah, just like you said, I went to the kids and I learned that like, when I talk to the kids, it's easier because they talk similar to what I can understand.
For sure.
And then I can ask like, hey, how do you say this? And then they would tell me.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned a lot. So anyways.
Shit, that's crazy, bro. And so obviously, you were out there in Japan and things of that sort. Is there what are some things that you experienced out there? Like, I don't know, like culture wise, like how was it? Like the culture, you know what I mean? Besides the language, how was like was there like a culture shock?
Oh, definitely. Like everybody is it's like everything's indirect. So like even like how they look at, like they never make eye contact. And then like how they speak is very like not assertive. And that's that's like, if you don't understand the culture in Japanese, you can't speak the language. Yeah. Which is like interesting. So like if you don't know how like to speak to an elder like a higher person or like just like in different situations, then like you don't really make sense, even though if you know how to like speak the words, you know? Yeah. So that was a culture shock. And then like you go over there and everything's so clean and like everything is like done a certain way. Like when you go there's a lot of like escalators. Yeah. And the right side you stand and the left side is the walking people. Like, and if you don't know that, and if you're standing on the left side, people will be like, look at you and
like you're rude.
What do you do? Yeah, rude.
Yeah.
You know, so like little things like that was like definitely an adjustment and culture shock. But I think the biggest culture shock was coming back. And I remember like walking in and I had a layover at LAX and then just hearing like everybody just like, it was so loud. Like just like, I was like, oh my gosh. And then everybody was just like, everybody's like normal size, you know,
like not small.
And there's a lot of like bigger people, and you know what I'm saying? Like everybody over there is just small and just like quiet, and you don't realize. And then like the way people talk over here, I remember like I came back and it was like the day after I went to go to a car wash with my dad. Yeah, and he was like. He was like, yeah, let me get this car wash. And then they're like, oh, well, do you want to upgrade? And he was like, no, I don't want to. And I remember like my heart was like racing because he was like so assertive. And I was like, and then I remember my dad, he drove off and going in the car wash. And I was like, Dad, why you be so rude? Yeah. And then he was like, son, really? And he's like, this is normal over here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I just wasn't used to it. So like things like that. So
I had a couple of friends who actually visited Japan not too long ago, and they said that one of the things that what's crazy over there is the way you carry yourself in public. Like they said, it's super, for the most part, it's super clean. It's pretty clean there. Like the streets, everybody has that responsibility. Like, and I was all like, how's that possible? Because I heard that there were trash cans.
There's no trash can in public.
In the public, you know
the
what I
only
mean?
inside like they call it konbinis, but it's like the gas stations or like but they have them in there, but they're like tiny, and that's it. So,
but I feel like that's what makes the Japanese culture super cool. You know what I mean? I feel like is the aspect of respect. You know what I mean? Like, and the Polynesian culture, like it's kind of similar, right? The whole respecting and things of that sort. But like, I feel like they definitely take it to a whole different language, the way they speak to each other, the way they even the way they conduct themselves when they're in public around elders or whatever it may be, right? And so, I think that's super cool, bro. Like, that's funny how you come home and like everything's just kind of like back to like in America, reality's like, oh frig, wait a minute, what the heck? People are so rude. But
for sure,
nah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's hella dope. So like obviously after the mission, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? After the mission, you come home. Yep. You went to JUCO Route. Yep. You know, play SUU. What went into your decision from SUU into entering the transfer portal and then ending up here? Like kind of talk about like that experience and you know.
Yeah. So my last year, the Blair Peterson, he was like the assistant QB's coach or whatever, essentially what Matt Mitchell is. And he came down and was our OC there. And so we essentially ran like the same offense, all that. Anyways, and like going into SEU, I always knew that eventually I was wanting to go to the the highest level. And I didn't know where that was, but and when it would be, but I knew like that's what I wanted and I could. And so anyways, both of those mixed together. After that last season at SUU, I essentially went to Blair and was like, hey, like I want to get out of here, like just go to the try to go somewhere bigger. And then he was like, well, would you want to go to BYU? And I was like, yeah, like that would be cool. And so then he just like made a call up to A-Rod, and then like it was like a week later, A-Rod called me, and then he just offered me a walk-on position, and he was like, I think you have the potential to like earn a scholarship, and then like play here or whatever. And there was like during that process there was a lot of other like schools. It was like a lot of like Sac State, like a lot of those Big Sky, and then there was a couple like Group of Five, and then like ASU. We talked, but they were all like those bigger schools were mostly walk-ons. So I was like, all right, well, just like let's bet on myself again. And so I was like, yeah, like I'll take it, to A-Rod. And so, anyways, got here, and then it was just like I feel like at every stage of my life it was like the same thing. It was like, all right, well, I know like what I can do, but I just need to bet on myself and like trust and just keep on, believing in myself. And then whatever my goals are, like I'll get there, And so it was just like another, like from JUCO to SUU to BYU was the same thing. It's like, well, nothing's given.
Exactly.
Like, you got to earn it. Like, let's go get it. And then, and then I was blessed enough to, earn a scholarship before the season started. And then, and then that was that. So.
No,
that was definitely a lot of life lessons that it was just meant for me.
I feel like you said it, like life lessons, and I guess one thing, like just based off of like my personal journey with JUCO and then being here and things of that sort, it's like you having that mentality, you coming in and it's like, all right, it's time to work. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of, I kind of put myself like I'm here at the bottom. Like, obviously I'm coming back and I just got here, and it's like now you got to work my way up. And then all of a sudden I did that at JUCO, and then you get offered you get another opportunity somewhere else. Now you're back at the bottom of the, you know what I mean? And now it's time to work your way up. And I feel like you've been able to do that countless times already, you know what I mean, with high school, and then obviously going to JUCO and then things of that sort, and then SUU, and then coming back to BYU, like there's like never a time where you're comfortable, you know what I mean? Like it's always like there's times where like, oh yeah, it's time to go, like, you know what I mean, gotta grow, gotta get better, and gotta establish myself, and then boom, gotta do it again, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's how life is, you know what I mean? Like it's
continuous.
Exactly, but it's continuous growth, you know what I mean? Continuous, like, I think that's why it's so important for us to kind of just make ourselves uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Take ourselves away from that comfort, you know what I mean? From that, and where we know that we can grow and be better, go pursue that, you know what I mean? And whether it's, no matter how hard it may be, you know what I mean? I feel a lot of guys will get comfortable being in one place or one situation, thinking that, you know what I mean? But I feel like once you get that feeling of like, I can't grow anymore in this place or whatever it is, I think that's a great opportunity or a great time to move on and go to the next thing, you know what I mean? And so, but I think that's super awesome, bro. That's heck of dope.
Like you talked about, also, like you came straight from the mission, obviously fresh off. And when you had your kid,
that's right.
Oh yeah.
Daughter, right? Like,
so talk about your family.
Talk about your family.
So I'm
when
married.
you met your wife.
So my wife.
Like he was like,
my wife. I essentially went to school like kindergarten all the way up.
Oh no way!
With my wife, like we were never like dating or friends or anything. Like we knew each other like because we were in the same like we grew up 4 streets down from each other. But like it was just like not until after the mission we were like talking. But anyways, but I knew her older brother. He played football and did track with me and all that. So there was that connection. And anyways, so. Coming back from my mission, I started talking to her, and then it was pretty quick. Like it was like 7 months, I think, after my mission. We got married, and that was in 2019. And then essentially, she's been through the ride with the whole time,
journey, huh?
Yeah, and so
wait, even to JUCO?
Yeah, JUCO. So like 2019, it was March, and then we went all the way. She's been all with me all the way since. And then, so we did JUCO till the end of 2020, and then we decided to go up to SUU, right? And then we found out we were pregnant. I want to say it was like middle of 2020 because baby came March of 21.
Oh wow.
Yeah. March of 21. Yep. So, anyways, so.
Talk about that. How was that? Like,
how?
Obviously, you're married. You made that decision, and now you got a kid on the way. Like, we actually all are in the same boat. We all got a kid and things like that.
You wasn't in JUCO when you had.
No. So actually,
SU.
Oh, well, was SU.
Yeah. So I got to SU in January, right, and then baby came in March. But we were having our season. So I was still dealing with my PCL, but like that was the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. So like I was coming back, whatever, and she was due in March, and then, wait, I was totally wrong. 2020, because we were married 2019, 2020. That's when we found out we were having a baby.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so then we went to SU. So I was up at SU and she was down in Arizona.
Yeah.
Finishing her little like school, whatever. It was like an internship. Anyways, and so I had to come down when she was like expecting to have baby. I just flew down.
Yeah.
So it was the middle of the season. I think there was like still one game left in the season at SU because it was the spring COVID season, and there was still one game left. And then I just had to flow down. I flew down, and then I was down there for like a month, and then we came up together like a month later.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it was crazy. Like I didn't know what to expect, and then like obviously it was like we weren't planning on it. So. That was also like crazy finding out. And so anyways, then when baby came, it was like, holy crap. Like I thought I kind of knew what I was getting into. And I was like, I don't know.
World, man.
Yeah. So like, and it's still that it's just like, we're just, going with the flow of, of it all. But anyway, so yeah, it was awesome. And luckily we were able to have her down with both of our families down in Arizona. Have that, month or so, the first month to be with them, spend time with them. But then it was just right back into it, right back up into SEU. So, yeah, it was crazy. So
obviously being at SEU, right, and like in the middle of this, well, like you said, you left, it was a game left in the season, came back, and you're right back into SEU. But then you were did you stay one more year, then you transferred?
No, season? It was 2020, 21. No, it's year. One more year.
Okay.
Yeah, so like a year and a half because I did 20 and then 21 season and 22 season.
Okay, that's right. Yep. And then so how was that? Talk about like how was it being a father? You know what I mean? Obviously, and a husband too, and then having to like juggle all those things and still being a Division I athlete. You know what I mean? How was that? How was that experience?
Yeah,
especially the newborn stage, bro, and like having the very brand new baby, man.
Well, so the crazy thing, even crazier, is that she was actually working. She had a job up here in Provo at the Revere Health across from Intermountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So she was living up here 4 days of the week.
Yeah.
And then driving down to SEU for 3 days and then doing it again my whole time at SEU.
What?
Yeah. So I was only seeing through them 3 days a week. And so... And that was just, that was what it was, So, like, her job is pretty, what do you call it, like, specific. There's not, like, a lot of them. Yeah. And so, like, there was no spots down in Cedar City because there's only, like, one of them needed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, she did her internship up here at the Revere Health up here, and then she just started working there. And so, anyway, so that was hard, like, and just not being able to have them there all the time.
Yeah.
But like I think even like up till now, like I think one thing that I've learned is like in the relationship, like it's never gonna be like 50-50. Like somebody's always gonna have to pick up the slack somewhere.
Yeah.
And like it's not fair, but like it just is what it is. And like luckily, I have a wife that like she's a real one. Like she's been through it, and like she was like it was definitely not easy for her, and like it was not what she wanted to do, but like she knew I had dreams and aspirations, and like she was willing to, put herself, last. You know what I'm saying? Like, and do what she needed to do to, like get through the stage.
But that's marriage, right?
Correct.
I feel like, like you said, I mean, it's not. We're all married here, right? And we all. have kids as well, and I think that's one thing that I've learned is like, yeah, you're right. It's definitely not a 50-50 thing. I think a lot of people think. I feel like since being married, I've realized that it's really 100-100. Like you're trying to give 100% effort every single time, and then sometimes maybe the other person gotta that their 100% effort looks different from a day-to-day basis depending on the circumstances. And I feel like, but that's the most important thing. Like it can't be a 50-50 relationship. It has to be both of you guys give 100% effort and making up for whatever it is, what I mean, on both sides. And so I think that's awesome that you're able to have someone in your corner. I think that's the most important thing is having, like you said, especially going through JUCO and all that stuff. You're so used to just being your number one believer, but then bringing someone else in that equation that believes in you just as much. It's honestly one of the most comforting things in the world. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Having someone, and then the fact that they have their dreams and aspirations, that they're pursuing their things, and being a mom and things of that sort. I think if anything, being real with y'all, man, that made me fall in love more with my wife and really see her in a different light. You know what I mean? She's not only just taking care of our little one, but she's pursuing her dreams and aspirations at the same time, allowing me to be able to be me and do my, pursue my goals and things of that sort. And so you can't underestimate that, bro. That support system, man.
No doubt. Yeah, for sure.
No. Should be some speed round questions.
Yeah, let's do a speed round.
Okay.
Get your brain going, baby.
Let's do it.
So obviously, you play tight end.
Yep.
What's your favorite route to run?
Shoot, my favorite is just in the red zone, like going like
the fade
two
ball
verts.
Oh, two verts, yeah.
2 verts, and then just running that, and then splitting the safeties or whatever it is.
Just find a soft spot.
Either that or just catching a short one and then try to knife up.
Yeah.
One of those, so yeah.
What's your best like play of the season, I guess, from this year?
Best play?
Yeah, like that you have a touchdown. Memory or something.
Tell me your best play, and I'll tell you the best play.
I think
one of my favorite plays from you, and then we'll go from there.
Shoot. Honestly, to be honest, it's not even a passing play. It was in, I believe, Oklahoma State. There was one single block that I had. It was I can't even remember the play, but it was they were going out, so it was a power play of some sort, and I had the DN 1-on-1, and I had the perfect footwork and everything, and I just
hands
sealed
in the right
it,
place.
Sealed it, and then it was gone. You know what I'm saying? So
people underestimate the feeling you get when you make a great block.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. As a running back, it's awesome to run the ball, and, you know what I mean, and obviously get yards. But bro, one of the most satisfying things when you stick someone or you just take someone have a great hands and then just drive.
What's your favorite one? A touchdown or a block?
Yeah,
or a pancake or something.
I think it's
I remember talking to Kibo in the beginning of the season. I was like, dude, I'd rather take a block that makes a touchdown or gets a big play than get a touchdown. And of course, him being a receiver and coming, he's like, heck no. He's like, I'm taking that touchdown all day.
You got the receiver mentality, bro. You know how the receivers be. He's man.
But so that was mine. I think probably that.
I feel I don't know. I'm right there with you, and I think maybe it's because of my experiences in high school and things like that. Obviously I had my fair share of scoring them, but one of the best feeling is knowing that you made a key block, or, you know what I mean, or you threw someone down that was made the key block and someone scoring, and I think that was I don't know. I for some reason that gets me more hyped than scoring myself.
Same. No doubt.
It's you see your boy doing good, but you helped. You helped on that play. You know what I mean? And I feel like you guys get to feel that a lot, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I do.
You got the unsung heroes, man. Exactly. Y'all the unsung heroes on the offense, bro. People don't know, man. It all happens. It all starts with y'all, ends with y'all. You know?
Yeah. No doubt.
No, my favorite play, Tava, from the season that you had. One was the touchdown that you had that scared the crap out of me. First of all, you scored a touchdown, you got this ball, but then you landed on the ball. I think I didn't know at the moment.
That was SMU game.
But was that the SMU game?
Yeah, SMU.
But then in that same game, was that the one you had the hurdle? Or you hurdled?
Yeah.
And it was this guy thought was going off, bro. This is going crazy. You want to hurdle someone, then all of a sudden I look at the other side of the field. It's Oh, bro, what's going on, man? I looked, and he got up laughing, bro. He got up laughing, but there was tears coming out. He got up laughing like this. Oh, I'm good. And I'm all like, what happened? It's like, bro, I just landed on the ball. It knocked the wind out of me.
That was
like,
crazy.
dang, bro.
Yeah, that was.
Nah, there's been some memorable plays for sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, growing up, like, have you ever had like a tight end that you looked up to, or like?
Well, like, I think the easy answer is
Or now,
Gronk. I love Gronk. So like, I grew up a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
So like, my dad was a Cardinals, and then it was like I was so competitive with my dad that like anything he liked, I just liked anything else. And so like, I remember the first game I ever watched was the Steelers and Patriots. I remember, and I was like, I'll just like the Patriots. I was like maybe 5 years old or whatever. So I always loved them. And then just growing up and watching Gronk, I was like, man, that guy's legit.
No, he's huge, bro.
So yeah, that was my favorite, probably my favorite. But.
Arguably one of the best tight ends to ever play the game, right? I mean, just the way it's not even his like receiving skills that put him like really stuck him out. It's the way he blocked, the way he, you know what I mean? Everything all around. You know what I mean? Like, was making plays in every part of every facet of the game on the offense side of the ball. And now he's definitely a dog, bro, for sure.
No doubt. Yep. So.
All right, so this one's more for our I guess like younger viewers, you know, people who are trying to obviously they want to be in our shoes. I always tell people all the time, like we're very fortunate to be where we are, you know what I mean? Be at BYU, to pursue the dream, to play football, to be here. You know, thousands of kids want to be in this position, you know what I mean? But obviously there takes a level of commitment and a level of, you know, and so I guess one thing since you've been here, and I guess because we're at BYU, right? It's, you know, a faith institute, things of that sort. How does your faith shape like the way you approach like football and life and things of that sort? Like how big of a role does your faith play in all that? Yeah,
for sure. I think coming to BYU, that's when my like spirituality and faith. I realized that's so much more a part of everything you do in life than I thought before, you know? So like coming in and like, I was even crazy. Like the first time I came here, this like the first meeting we had, we said prayer. I was like, oh wow. Like, well, that's what we do. And then every day has been like that. And then, you know, then Kalani, him preaching like, you know, teaching us lessons about football through the scriptures or through spiritual things, you know what I'm saying? So things like that. So I realized like my faith, just like faith in God and like how much I believe in him correlates directly to me, you know? So like I've seen in my life, like the more faith I've had in God, you know, that it was reflected how much how much faith I had in myself. Like I could like look back at the times where I was like the lowest and I was like, oh yeah, like my spirituality probably wasn't the highest, you know? And like, and even like when you do have lows, you know, cause you are going to, like being able to trust in the process, you know, as far as football goes, but even like in the spiritual aspect, you know, trusting in our Heavenly Father and trusting in the plan that he has for us. Cause each of us, you know, he does have a plan. That's directly correlated to everything in my life, you know, whether it's having a kid, you know, being married, you know, trying to pursue my you know, dreams in football, or just, you know, in my spiritual aspect, it's played a huge role. So just coming to that realization, especially being here in this institute, it's just been a blessing, you know? So yeah, can't say enough about that. So.
Yeah, no, I love that, bro. I feel like I'm in the same boat. I feel like if I'm being honest, like it wasn't until like the mission, like for me, where I really started to understand like my relationship with Heavenly Father and things of that sort, with God and things of that sort. And like, I felt like the biggest thing that I took away from my mission was just like not necessarily confidence, because I came back and I remember my family telling me like, man, you're pretty confident, you know what I mean? Because I told them like, this is my plan, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go to JUCO, whatever, and this and that. And I think people like misunderstood. Like I wasn't really confident myself, but I was confident in God's plan for me. You know what I mean? Confident in that if I do everything right and, you know, put him first in all things, he'll take care of whatever it is that, you know, I want for my life and plan for my life, you know, as long as I take care and do my part, you know? And so I wholeheartedly believe that, bro. It's it's like that, and that's one thing that I feel like I've been able to like nourish during my time here at BYU. It's like, yeah, it's my faith in God, but it also correlates with my confidence in Him and His plan and myself, and that's kind of how I attack every day, right? And I feel like a lot of us have that very similar mindset. You know what I mean? I feel like we wouldn't be here without that. You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of people need to understand. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, you know, you gotta give glory to the man who brought you here in the first place. You know what I mean? And so
I do have a question though for Caleb. Like you not being a member of the church, like how is that experience? Like is it like a little bit like do you feel like
coming here to BYU?
Yeah,
too,
coming
right?
here to BYU and like does it feel like is it like too much or like how is that for you?
I actually like it. Like, I think it's pretty cool like to be able to experience that type of you know, view, you know, something different. Obviously, you know, I'm like Baptist, or you know, I go to a different church, or, you know, than y'all do, you know. But just able to be around, you know, y'all guys and hear y'all talk about, you know, the different type of things y'all went through and been through, you know, on y'all missions. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, like I never would ever thought I'd been around, like, you know, been in Utah, or been in like, you know, went to LDS, you know, school.
Be here at BYU.
So I mean, you know, just to be able to experience that, you know, just it's beautiful, and I mean, y'all boys different for sure. I don't know how to explain it, but
no, I do.
It's been fun though. Like I do think it helps. Like you know, like
with your faith, like, do you feel faith,
like the team as well. Like it plays a big role, obviously.
Yeah.
Like it's like teams I've been at, it's like it doesn't feel like they don't have no like foundation. Like they're not built on anything. Like it's just whatever they tell you. I guess like just talent. I don't know. But like here's something that like it's a core, it's a value that y'all are built on, and y'all actually like believe and, you know, just want to be better for yourself and as a player and an athlete. So
no facts, bro.
But I think one thing I say on that, like my thought is, I think it's cool too because like for those like that are not in this program and in this place that we're at, it's cool for us that our members grow up because it is like I feel like Caleb said culture allows us to be able to see those that aren't members, see what their thoughts are, their foundation, what they believe, and like being at a different school, like I think a lot of people have beliefs and like want to share their spirituality or whatever you want to say, but there's just they don't feel comfortable, right? Like they might be weird for them to pray or like to say their belief in God because they like feel like maybe they'd be judged. But like here it's cool to see those that are members and especially not members, like on my perspective, to see like how they think, because like I've grown just as much from like those that are members than those are not members. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like that's been cool to see that, and like see that like when you're in a culture of like loving and learning like we are, like everybody can just express themselves and we can all grow from each other no matter where we're from. So
just
most definitely
being yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. No, I love that for sure, especially like being here at BYU. Like I feel like you don't experience that anywhere else. You know what I mean? At least from my experiences, you know, even being at JUCO, things of that sort. I mean, like you said, when I first came here and seeing how like rooted we are in that culture of just love and learn, and that's something that Kalani preached from the get-go when I first got here. It was very different because football is a violent sport. You know what I mean? Football is a very like to contact hard sport and things of that sort. So you never really pair love and learning as a core foundation for a football team, you know what I mean? And so to be able to come here and my understanding of that has definitely like changed the way I even like approach life, you know what I mean? In other aspects of my life, right? And so I think it's just super cool to be able to have that and to be part of a religious institute that it's not people think that it's the, you know, obviously the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints dominantly, but like there are so many guys down on the team and even across the school that are not of the faith, that are different religion, right? But it's so awesome to be able to share those same values and to know that, man, we all believe in the same God, you know what I mean? And things of that sort, you know what I mean? We maybe go about it differently, but I think it's cool to be able to experience that, you know? And so definitely experience is unique to BYU, I'd say. And so.
No doubt.
Yeah. Alrighty, bro. This one's more for is also for like just for fun, as fans. Just quick question as we come to that. Do you have any more ones you want to?
You can ask them what you got.
All right, bet. Okay, so these are just things that the fans just want to know about you.
Okay.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Little quick ones. What is your? We'll just rapid fire these. What is your favorite movie? Like probably of all time. What's one of your favorite movies?
Okay, so my favorite all-time movie is Gridiron Gang.
That's a good one.
With
The Rock, right?
Yep. And then, but my favorite movie series is John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
The last
yes, bro.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Next one is, what is your favorite pregame meal? Or what's your go-to pregame meal? Like, do you have like a meal that's like, I gotta have this, or what is your one thing that if you can have every time before a game, like what would you?
I don't really like eating too much before the game, but like I like eating like a rice and like some type of protein, and then like a roll with butter.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've like doing. But like what I really have to do before, like the night before, is like have some sort of like sushi or some Asian. I love noodles or sushi. That's what I have to have. So. Yep.
Okay, and then this one. All right. And then it's also, what is your, like, I guess, also go to, do you have like a specific music or like playlist that you usually go to, or like what's your go to, I guess, song for pregame?
To be honest, I don't listen to music really before the game. Like I wasn't always like that. I like to like just like take in my surroundings, like, cause like as my career's come to end, I'm like, this is like a time where like I'll never get this back again. And so I'm like, I just want to like embrace it. So like when we're in the bus, I just like looking around, and then like when we get off the bus, I just like interacting and hear all the noise of like the fans and things like that. But sometimes if I do, it'll just be reggae, just poly music.
Reggae?
Yeah, just straight up.
I'm right there with you, bro.
So yeah.
You wanna go?
I don't really have any of those questions, but I just have one more question. Like,
Yep.
you know, you play a lot of football, obviously. And,
Yep.
Like, what do you credit the most of your growth, like, since you've been playing? And, like, as a person, like, what do you credit?
Well, definitely my parents. Like, growing up, there's 10 kids in my family. And so, like, and they're all within, like, when the oldest was 18, the youngest was born. So there was 10 people in the family in the house at the same time. So like seeing how like my dad always like provided and found a way, like there was times where it was rough, but like he always was like working whatever it was, a job. And then my mom was always like just thugging it out, you know, like just like loving everybody, making sure everybody was okay, like had everything they needed, you know, that. But also another different thing that's not like the obvious is so in my career I've had like Coach Gilbride this season, this would be my 6th tight end coach. I've never had a tight end coach the same any of my years. So like having different coaching, different coaches, and like learning from each one of them, it's helped me like be able to take the good I see from all of them and then like be able to apply it into my game. So like just having that like all those different, like having the experiences of all those different coaches, I feel like that's helped me to be able to be like the best person I can be like right now. So that's kind of like a maybe different one that I credit to. Like, so yeah.
This is probably no, actually, you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You had 6 different coaches for every year.
Yeah, tight end coach every
I thought I could say the same, but I actually didn't.
Yeah. But still, to have multiple coaches, you know what I mean?
Right. Crazy,
it's different perspective. Even when you got here, you had 2 different coaches, right?
I had 2 different O-line coaches. I didn't have a O-line coach in JUCO.
That's what I'm saying.
So
just like getting those different perspectives and being coached by different, you know what I mean, guys with different experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you said, you take the good, you know what I mean, take the good and apply that to your game, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
No, that's facts. Okay, well, as we come into, I guess the end of our, you know, thing, I guess the final question I think would be suited for us to end on will be, if you can, you know, give any advice to someone who's was probably in your position as a you know, freshman in high school, whatever it may be, you know, maybe, you know, 5 years or ago and things like that. So if you can go back to the freshman self, you know, your freshman self in college, maybe, what is one piece of advice that you you've learned throughout all your experiences, in life so far, in your college experience, that you wish you would known, or you would want to give to someone who is pursuing probably in the same path?
Yeah. I think the short answer is to just keep going, like the stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
Because, and then to explain off of that, like no matter where you are in life, and where you want to be, like it's never what you think it is. Like 99% of the time will never be what it is, you know? Like you might reach the goal, but like your process to it is like, will never be what you think. Like I always thought that I would come, like I never thought I was going to on a mission. So I thought I was going to be like 4 years college, then off to the league, or like 2 years on the mission and then come back, hopefully 3 years, 4 years, and then gone. But it's been, 6 years since I've been off my mission. And it just has not been the way that I thought it was. But throughout the whole time, I don't know what has been. Maybe I'm just lucky or blessed or whatever, but like I've just kept going. Like, and during all that time, there's going to be people in your life that tell you like, don't do it. Like it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it will be even like some of your family, like they'll be like, Tava, just, stop it, just move on with life. Just keep going, like move on, like do something else, and like, but just, again, like just to keep on sticking to it, like no matter what. And like if that's what you really want to do, then just keep on going. And then eventually whenever you reach that point, then you can say, like, whether you make it to that point or you don't, then you can like live with yourself and be like, I gave it everything that I have, you know what I'm saying? And that, like the lessons that you will learn up to those points in life, that's what's carry you on for the rest of your life. And that's like my belief, is like no matter what happens after this, whether I go on and make it to the league or I just move on with business or whatever my dreams and aspirations are after this, is like what I've done to this point in my life. This is what's set me up to project. This is the projection that I've put on my life. Like I've made it to this point, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like this is going to propel me into whatever else I do after this, whether it be what I think it might be or what it might not be. And so like, I think these are the foundational years of your life, high school to like, college, that'll just, set your trajectory into life. And so that's probably be my advice. So
love it. Dropping gems, man. Dropping gems as always. Okay. Well, hey, Tom, we appreciate you for coming on here, man.
Appreciate it,
not just dropping gems, but sharing your story, man. It's been awesome to learn more about you as your teammate and things of that sort. But I think a lot of people, especially the youngins, can take away from your experiences and things that you've learned. So we appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you guys. It was awesome.
Like I always said, this is another episode of Inside the Wire with Center Street Media. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. Till next time. See you.
Gang.